So we just covered how to dig and finish the heel hook, and then we covered counters. Now I'm just going to go through, like, as the person trying to do the heel hook, how do we deal with the common counters? So how do you deal with, like, the heel slips and so on? How do we make sure we're still able to counter that? Or what are our general approaches to dealing with these, okay? We already covered some of the things we covered how to keep the knee line in the start of this series, so I'm not going to go through all those options on how to keep the knee line again, but we'll go through the specific scenarios that we covered. So, player's hiding the heel, he's pointing his toes, hiding the heel. How do we try to deal with when someone's doing this? Okay, so there's basically two options. We are either able to expose the heel using our positioning, or we have to roll through to now face the heel again. Okay, so just a kind of recap here. If my legs can do the job of going this way to expose the heel, that's good. It's going to be stronger from something like a 50-50 where we've got a cross leg position, or if it was an outside actually, it's going to be stronger if I reap across to start to expose a heel like that. We want to try to, pull the knee, get our chest onto the kind of mid shin if we can. Okay, so you can use your arm and your legs to do that, or even if he's turned, often I'll get here and I pull in tight here, and this is going to create a similar scenario. We're going to then, if he's continuing to turn, then we have to roll through. Okay, so that's how I have to deal with a hidden heel, and I have to find an angle, start to dig that heel as we roll through. Okay, so obviously if he's hiding the heel and he's pointing the toes, you got to get it exposed enough that you can get your elbow to the top of the toes to pull back. Okay, if you can't get it that much, don't bother trying to dig. So we're here, no point doing this. I need to get better angle first. Okay, now I can dig and finish. If you want to roll through to catch the heel, so let's say the heel is hidden. First of all, put your elbow on the mat in front of the ankle line. Okay, so probably one of the most common mistakes. People look for the ankle line here, like it's not exposed enough for me to dig the heel here anyway. And I'm gonna struggle now to, like if I try to catch it, I'll probably miss everything. Okay, so you actually want to start too far forward of the, around in front of the ankle line, and then I'm gonna bridge forward, and that will bring his toes to my ankle, like so. Okay, see that? So it starts to slide him back to where I want. All right. So a lot of the time, if you can get fight a little bit with your hand here. So I just reached over the top, or it can be with my knee being tight to my chest here. So I've stopped him hiding his heel too much. This is actually kind of a good territory to catch it, but his foot's on the ground, so I can't dig. I'm gonna do a little butt hop that I lift my butt up and forwards. Okay, go here, see that? And that exposes the heel. Boom. Okay, so guys, with the hop, don't do it if their knee's already turned in. Okay, it's gonna be too hard here, like this. Yeah, so I want to do the hop if I've kept his knee more vertical. It can be bent. Actually, the bent is even this is quite common with it. We're kind of here, like this, and I can lift up and come forward, but it can be straight as well. But I don't want to do it once they're turned there. It's not going to work from this angle. Definitely, I'm throwing it from the saddle, but I use this from 50-50 too. We can be here. Let's get someone's leg there, and we'll come forward and bring our hips over to catch the heel hook. And actually, by bringing my hips forward and my hand so I bring my hips forward and my hand is back a little bit. I'll roll the heel over the top and get the bite. Okay, this is usually the first. If he's hidden his heel, I can go here, and this is usually the first way I try to dig the heel from there. Okay. If that's not enough, that's the exact action that I want to use to roll through. So we go again. I've come forward. I realize, oh no, he started to turn too much. Then I'm going to go over my left shoulder and dig the heel from here. Okay, so let me just go through that on my own first. So, come forward with the hips. Okay, so from here, this is the key. I want you to look at you're going to go over your left shoulder. So I'm on my right elbow. Left shoulder goes through. and I want to look at the heel as I dig it. Okay, so your head has to look back through that gap. Forwards, catch. Okay, so again. Here, blocked next to the ankle here. I come forward, over my shoulder, and I'm looking at the heel. Okay, that way I can dig and catch it like that. You'll be quicker. It'll be a much quicker way to catch the heel if you do it like that, as I said, than just rolling sideways. All right, I roll sideways. I try to do this, I'll miss it. Okay, it's too fast. All right, so coming forward. I think like also just by coming forward, it puts a bit of weight on them. It makes it more awkward for them to roll. You know, like if I'm just rolling on myself, you find it easy with your legs to get around. When I start like coming forward a bit, there's a bit more weight on you, and I can dig the heel as I come through. Okay. Now, just don't forget our general principles we went through for like digging the heel. I still want like elbow to the end of the toes, pulling back to my like ribs and not into my armpit. So I see people do this and they look for the armpit and it'll never work. Okay, so if I go here and I try to look with my armpit, I'll miss that. Yeah, it's too. See how I haven't dorsiflexed his foot? I want it to be here, locking that down, and that will catch it. In the scenario where we've chased the heel and I tried to outroll Kaya, but he's beaten me, and now he's like turned way too far, and I know that he's gonna keep rolling if I go, then we have to start trying to roll over the other way, okay? I'm gonna cover this in much more detail if you go to the distal control sequences section, so I won't go over a heap of detail for this now, but essentially in that scenario, we'll be putting our foot over the top of the far leg, holding the knee up, and rolling through the opposite way. So we're going to roll the opposite way to catch them because they've rolled too far that way. Okay. This is a scenario now where like I've kind of got my foot down towards the ground, so there's no way he can dig under the heel here. So you're gonna, Kaya's gonna like, to the best of his ability with his left hand, he's gonna like stop my knee from turning in any further. It kind of keeps my heel a bit more exposed. His right knee is gonna pull tight to his chest. Yes, okay, so see how that kind of locks me in here? It's harder for me to turn around. Okay, good. And you're gonna put your right elbow in front of the line of, yes, good, excellent. Okay, so if you can here, just lean forward and lift your hips towards me. Yep, lift your hips up, and then just drive forward with your hips this way now. Yes, and my heel starts to slide in, so just swing your hand back a little bit. You can catch. Not bad, just do it again. Could be a little better. Elbow in front of the heel. Not so far forward, just like there, yes. Kind of like lean your weight forward. Yeah, that's it, good. Come forward towards me. Yep, yes, this is better, good, nice. You've caught the heel. Very small movement. Use this from a few different positions. Okay, next one. Now you're gonna be a little bit, like I'm gonna turn now. So you go to do that, but I've already started to turn. So the elbow goes there, you start the same action, but I start to roll. Okay, so you're gonna head on the mat, go over your left shoulder to dive that through and look at my heel, yes, and then dig at the toes to my ribs. As I said, you got more armpit. Okay, go back. I want you to go a little more toes to rib, yeah, elbow and toes. Yes, good. Okay, so can everyone see that? Instead of going like up at the armpit here, I've got much more chance at like slipping out of that than if he goes like at the elbow and then locks it to the ribs. Yeah, here it's one other thing that I like to do sometimes from the saddle is actually just predominantly focus on bending the knee, because remember, bending the knee stops him from freeing his knee and also stops him rotating too well. Okay, so if you get it really good, then you'll be able to expose the heel and finish from that. Okay, so I will dig my elbow as far back as I can. I'll post my foot here to stop Kaya moving his hips forward. So I'm flaring my knee out and my hips are gonna go right into the knee. I bring my right leg as far out here as I can. Like this, okay? And I wanna like slide my back, you know, you can use your other hand on the mat, just like turn even further back. Okay, run away here, Kaya. If you feel comfortable to. Yeah. It's hard to roll as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so now I just need to dig the heel. All you need to do, toes on the mat, point your knee to the roof and see what happens there. It exposes the heel. and swim my hands through and finish. So if you look at that, if my knee is high, I can lift that heel up by doing this. Okay? I've taught this quite a few times at seminars, and almost invariably the problem is that people keep their leg like here. There's no pressure. It's counterintuitive because I have to move my hips away from Kaya. Even though I'm trying to keep his knee line, I move my hips this way to put pressure on the knee, which is what keeps the knee line. So we go here and my hips go forwards, away from Kaya, bending the knee quite strongly, flaring my leg out, and my leg's high, okay? If it's here, this doesn't lift the knee very well. Here, this will do a good job, okay? And then you swim your arm back. So let's have a look at that. I'll turn around this way. When we're here, I will swim my arm back behind the toes, okay? So I'll get good positioning, and to catch the heel, I swim my arm back, like reaching back, let it drop a bit. See that? So I drop it so that just the toes are caught, and that exposes the heel. So again, now just stay here, hug your heel a bit, hard to catch. Slide down to the toes, and then I'm like pulling back a bit. Hard for him to hide the heel now. Hide your heel. I can catch it and finish. All right, so Kaya's gonna have a go at this one. So I start to turn. So this one you have to kind of preempt it, and your elbow is going to go as like collect from here and take it as far behind you as you can with your elbow. So kind of like, if you can, like pull it behind your back with your elbow and like twist my knee. Yes, good. Okay, this one flares out, and then really like bring your hips this way. Yes, good. So you should feel here, very difficult for me to flare that out more. Good. Very difficult to free my knee. It's actually kind of hard for me to turn too. All right, so now you're on your shoulder. You're gonna put your toes on the mat. You're gonna lift your knee up to the roof a bit, and that should, let's see, that lifts my heel up, exposes a little bit. Swim your right arm like right behind your back, like we're doing that. Yes, now my heel's slipped inside. You can start to dig it. Yes, good, and you got it. Nice. We talked about like we're here and coming forward like this to like do that little hop. Sometimes Kaya is actually trying to get up. So sometimes the person will like hide their heel and start trying to get up, like fall. Yes, exactly. So I'm not going to be able to do the hop very well. And actually that roll we did before won't work well either, because I needed to get up and roll on my shoulder. So if we go back again, like if I start coming forward as you come forward, it's very hard for me to roll through and catch the heel, right? So as soon as I sense Kaya's weight is coming forward, I'm gonna like do a Granby roll. So I'm gonna go from my right shoulder here to my left shoulder, and I'm gonna catch a 50-50 heel hook here. All right. So this time, we've gone to go forward, Kaya goes to get up, go on your right shoulder, take your inside leg out and cut it across the hip. It'll give you way better leverage to then expose the heel when he gets up, okay? If you keep the saddle, it's gonna be kind of crappy, okay? So Kaya starts to get up, I start to go right shoulder, left shoulder, and watch my right leg cuts through, and then watch what this does. As soon as that connects, it starts to expose his heel, and I catch the heel, and we've got our 50-50 heel hook. So this time, go to do the forward hop one. Yeah, this one, yeah, you got it. And I start going like this, yeah. All right, so from here, you're gonna grab, so you're gonna go from your right, tuck your head, your right shoulder to left shoulder, this right leg's gonna come out through the middle. Yes, and then that should expose the heel. Nice, good. Once more. I've hidden my heel, and then you start to go for the forward one, and I start coming up. Roll through, shoot that leg in, and 50-50 heel hook. Just want to talk about, this is a really important sequence that I want you to develop to, and we're going to cover each of these in quite a bit of detail, but just so you understand the sequence that we're going to go through, get really good at this, because this is going to like make your heel hooks really, you're going to have a high percentage chance of catching someone if you get good at this particular sequence. All right, so first one, the heel is exposed. I've got the knee over the side, foot is floating, and I can catch the heel, okay, and go from there. Second one, Kaya starts to turn, right? So now his heel's on the ground, right? From here, we work to do the elbow hop and catch. Okay. Sometimes it's actually that they've turned a little too much with this, but he's not necessarily rolling, okay? And he's got his like foot on the ground, okay? From here, we're gonna drive our hips forward and swim our arm back to catch the heel from here. Then we've got our rolls, okay? So from either of those two scenarios, we're here, or he's turned a little more. When I know Kaya's gonna roll, I'm gonna have to out-roll him, okay? I'm on my elbow, I go over my shoulder, and I swim through to catch the heel. And then lastly, and often you'll keep doing that. If he starts to get up and come forward, then we have to spin through with a Granby roll into 50-50 heel hook. So if Kaya starts going this way and getting up, then I need to spin through and catch the heel here. Next one, if Kaya's rolled too much and I realize I'm too late. So he's rolled, and it's usually like I try to follow and I realize like, yeah, this is not gonna work, okay? Sometimes I will just stop, and it just happens that Kaya might like continue to roll, okay? And if he happens to continue to roll, like if he in that momentum, he's thinking I'm chasing him and I stop, so if you just roll again, often that will give me the heel hook again, okay? Otherwise, go back. Otherwise, if we're here, we're then gonna put the heel behind our armpit. We're gonna go over this a little later actually, and we're gonna start to work to spin over the top, the other way to catch the heel. So one common defense, people cross their feet, okay? In the saddle and 50-50, these are the two scenarios, 50-50 or 90-10 and 80-20, or outside Senkaku, as I should have said. It's a different like response depending on whether you're in the saddle or those other 50-50 related positions, okay? In the saddle, often what you're looking to do when they cross their feet is control the leg. I tend to, you can, to be honest, I feel like this has kind of become a little bit redundant, but you can look to start taking the leg to the far side. There's some ways we'll go over doing that. And then you get a free shot at an exposed heel. But honestly, in my experience is that you're going to have to deal with the hidden heel anyway, if someone knows what they're doing. Okay, so even if I pull the leg all the way across, at some point I'm gonna have to let go of this leg, and it becomes the same rolling battle as if I never controlled the leg to begin with. So my preference for here is to put my elbow to the inside and just hold the far leg, okay? Because if I just hold the leg, if Kaya goes to roll, he can, but it's like a bit slower, okay? If I can just hold this leg. If it's out of the way, then we do our roll like we did before. We're actually gonna do basically the same roll, but this time I'm gonna be holding the far leg, okay? So if I can hold this far leg, go, start to roll, I start to come forward over my shoulder, and I can start to catch the heel, okay? It's just a little easier for me to do if I've got that far leg, okay? Cross your feet again. So from here, it's not that hard, like from the saddle, it's not that hard. Like I literally just grab it like it's a foot lock, and he can't keep, like it's very easy for me now to just like go here, right? So it's not a difficult thing to uncross the feet. Whereas in 50-50, it can be a more difficult skill to do because it's a slightly different angle that they've got. Okay, so again, if I just pull the foot up into the armpit, grab near the ankle so he can't recross, and I put my elbow over the top here. Okay. This already, now if he tries to recross, because my elbow's there, he can't. So we begin our roll. Missed that one. Now I got it. I'm just gonna have one out. Okay. In 50-50, if they cross their feet. This is a little different because it's not so easy. I can't just like go and uncross it. So yeah, that didn't really work the same way as it did in the saddle because I got different leg positioning, right? So to uncross the feet from here, there's a few different ways. Often what I look to do, grab the toes, like look for the toes on each foot. So heel is okay, but like once I get the toes, see how like you can't, if you look at this, this is like a hook, right? If I'm covering the toes, so just take your foot away for a second. If I cover the toes, you can't use that as a hook, so hook your other leg over now. See how the hook doesn't work? Because there's no hook, like no hook shape to put the leg in, okay? Whereas if you grab at the heel, he can hook really well, and that's hard to like disengage from that hook, okay? So what I'm looking to do, get up near the, like reach through, get up near the end of the toes here, like the higher generally the better. And then I just like work against he's got a back heel here, so I can grab the toes if I want and kind of lift it up, or I can reach under, which is good as well, and open my elbow. So now try and lock your feet together. And then once they're open, I always put my elbow in between so that they can't reclose, okay? And then I can start attacking, you know, with our attacks that we've covered before, okay? So again, if they cross their feet, this is a full triangle, that's fine, okay? So I tend to like use this to try to open, or this to try to open remove the back heel so there's less tightness coming through and gripping onto this, and you should be able to clear that reasonably easy. Once you do, just don't let them cross again and get your elbow to the inside. Once your elbow is inside the ankle, you're pretty good to start attacking. This can be done in a few different ways. Sometimes one arm is enough, okay? So sometimes one arm here will be enough to unlock the feet. Again, here, if I can reach through, grip up near the toes, I use that as a lever to lift my elbow, and that can be enough to catch the position to start looking for the hook. I'm crossing my feet in the saddle. We're just going to do the one where Kaya unlocks and gets to just hold my feet apart. Okay, so go for it. So you can reach the top one like it's an ankle lock. So just pull it in like you're going to ankle lock my left foot. Yeah, very rare that ankle lock will actually work. Watch out for an Aoki lock, but an ankle lock, no. Okay. Now that you're here, see how I can't, like if you just kind of lean up a bit, lift that up a bit. Yeah, it's hard for me to get my right foot anywhere near it. So reach your left hand towards the ankle, that ankle, yeah, the draft leg, yep. And then just start to like push my foot out. So kind of slip it out and open it out. Yes, good. And your elbows come inside. So now I can't cross my feet again. Yep. Now you've got access to my heel. That one's easy, okay. More difficult from 50-50. So I can be here like this. Kaya is going to reach to the end here, or they can go, you either grab there or you go under the heel. You're trying to like, both times you're fighting against my ability to back heel here. Okay, to keep that, I want back heel to keep my hook tight. You're fighting against that, good. Reach to the toes and you should be able to open, and then put your elbow to the inside. Yeah, okay, yes. So you might even just go, sometimes I go double block on the far one, just so they can't get them together, and I get my elbow in. Okay, and now you start looking for you to dig the heel again. Let's just try with the toe grip as well. Good. Reaching through, up nice and high. Good. Bit, catch this a bit there. Yes, good. Okay, excellent. Very hard for me to stop. And then you're in position to get the heel. Yeah. So, some people will defend by keeping the heel really shallow to a hip. We want to have a solution to that. Usually the solution to this, like, to me it's really hard to dig the heel. I don't usually look to dig it while it's like that. I'm going to pull on the knee. Okay. As soon as I pull the knee, it's now open. And then that's why a lot of the time when you see me fighting from 50-50, I'm actually fighting with one hand holding the knee. Because you can do all the right stuff here, doing all the grip fighting, and then he pulls his foot back to here and you're like, oh, I'm not going to have a good chance to dig the heel now. Okay. So you often see me like fighting from here, working like that to stop this heel coming close to my body. It's dangling, like I said earlier. So now all my attacks are going to work much better. So one, it's not as common, but sometimes people will roll with the, like especially with an inside heel hook, it's not that common, but sometimes people will roll this way to, and to escape, okay? Now generally, if Kaya's leg is straight, this is gonna be very hard for me to finish. You can see I don't have any good bite on I start to lose my bite on the heel. If you keep turning, I've lost it, right? So if we go back, now, I just go back to like neutral. So usually when someone's rolling this way, I'm aiming to use my right leg to shoot through and bend the knee. See how that bends his knee, like that? So if I've caught the heel, I'll often hold the knee at the top to stop him escaping. Like that's usually where he's trying to run. Like if you go, he's trying to like straighten and free his knee. So I want to like have something to hold that in. Let's go turn now. And I'll be looking to shoot my leg over. Watch this. So his leg's pretty straight. As I shoot my leg in, it's gonna bend. Okay. And now that we keep rolling through, I start getting good ability to apply bridging pressure into the knee and some rotational pressure on the foot, and we can end up getting like outside Senkaku for the finish. Okay. So whether that's from it's much harder for someone to roll out from the saddle, but they can. But this leg will really chop that down and make it difficult for them to, okay, I went to roll to the right, that's a bit harder here. But often from 50-50 or an open leg position, they'll go to roll. So you have to be ready to shoot over the top. So again, I'll be shooting over the top, bending that knee, and then coming through. And again, closing in. Once I close in with my knee here, it starts to get hard to roll. If his legs, we go back. If you bent their knee to start with, they won't be able to roll. Okay, so if I had this position and I bend the knee, well, Kaya's gonna feel like, at least he should feel like if he rolls, I'll maintain bridging pressure the whole time. Yeah, while his knee's bent, I can still be pressuring. This is still on, right? But if he's straight, I have to thread through to bend, and then we can apply that pressure. So countering hand fighting which is more of an issue from 50-50, really. This is where the false grip I think is really important, and trying to get good elbow and chest positioning. Okay, so if I'm here, let's say I managed to catch the heel, like this is the scenario. We'll go through the tactics of how to get the heel and so on in the 50-50 section. But let's say I caught the heel and Kaya starts coming to hand fight. Yeah, great. So what I'm going to first do, make it difficult for Kaya to get like a good position to start slipping the heel or anything. So I'm going to put my false grip, chest forward like this, and elbow back. So my elbow goes behind, chest over the top, and here. Okay. Start trying to kick my hand free. So you'll see, because I'm on the ground, that's at least difficult. I can use my other hand to fight that as well. Whereas up here, there's much more chance he kicks free. All right. So come forward. And I'm going to wiggle as we're doing that, like I'll try to block that for a moment and wiggle this to go to hand front. I'm going to be wiggling and trying to push that hand free and try and get my knee in front. So this is more like an 80-20 position now. Once my leg comes in front, you can't sit forward and hand fight properly. Okay. I'm belly down, and then we can usually look to get finishing position here, or even better, we get to our outside Senkaku. Now I still can't hand fight because of my leg position. I have great ability to apply pressure to the knee. All right, so same for hand and foot fighting. I'm really looking to turn his knee in, pull my elbow back, and get down away like this. If he's in close, like this, I use the ground to extend the knee away. So pull everything in tight. Yeah, this is where it's hard to come in with your hands as well. Yeah, this is where it's hard, right? You need to elbow hop, hand on the mat, elbow hop, chest down. Now I've got a much better position to fight. I've also got more room with my legs to come across. Okay, so start pulling the knee away, chest over the top, elbow behind your back, and then you're starting to work to good attacking position. So defending against the heel slip, we did cover this really in making sure we just get good positioning with our arms, but like a good false grip or pulling really tight with our arms. But most important thing is the elbow is back. Here, okay. When my elbow is back and my chest is attached to the top of the leg, there is no possibility of the heel slip here. Even with the one arm attached, it's not going to happen. Okay. When they're both attached, it's even pulling in tight. It's even more difficult. Okay. Elbow open, definitely. Okay. For the toe slip, remember the toe slip. So push on the toes here. That is more about actually I want to be bringing my again, good pressure will defeat this. Let's say you're looking for the toe slip. I'm gonna have to while I'm digging good position, I'm gonna have to block this leg from kicking my shoulder. If it gets onto my shoulder early, as I start trying to dig, I will not be able to catch without the toes slipping. Even if you let me get the heel, go to the toes. He's gonna slip that almost certainly if he gets to my shoulder here. So it's actually about fighting this off, catching the heel and keeping that there. Okay, so never letting that leg get near your shoulder to catch the toe slip. Now, once you're in position here and I'm like this, now I don't feel like Like, and everything's tight, I don't think I feel like the toe slip's gonna work. Try. Yeah, so once my weight is like through the toes and it's fully closed off, that's done. An important point is actually, in terms of digging the heel, is often the best time to dig is actually as they try to flee and disengage. Often, like, let's say we're here and Kaya's like turned his heel pretty well, and I'm trying to dig it out here. It might be really hard for me to get at this right now. Often, like by putting my elbow on the inside, when he actually goes to run, that often gives me the, don't roll, just like go to run. That often gives me the chance to dig the heel, because it actually, like, he's pulling his toes closer to my elbow. Okay, so generally it's like we actually want to kind of encourage, once we have our positioning right, we actually want to encourage them to free their leg. I even will use my hips to start to free his leg this way as part of my mechanics to finish. So if I'm here and I want to catch the heel, what I'll actually do is I'll push my hips forward, which is like he's freeing his knee. All right. Now I can catch the heel. Okay. The same thing can happen when he's trying to run away. But as I said, if you get good positioning first, you actually want them to start to free, because that'll give you a chance to catch the heel, or you force the heel out by pushing your hips in like that. All right, linking the techniques for countering their counters to the heel hook. Okay, so obviously we need to make sure we keep the knee line. I basically covered that in the earlier section about how to keep the knee line, so I'm not going to go over that too much. Obviously the main thing I'm using is I'm trying to bend the knee, like especially once I'm starting to catch the heel, I want to have good pressure bending the knee and sucking the knee in. Okay, so the first thing, if he can't free his knee line, then Kaya's going to be usually looking to hide the heel. Early on, to prevent Kaya from hiding the heel, you might get like a grip on the toe. Okay, if we're here and I feel like he wants to start hiding the heel, often a toe grip here can be really good, just to give me a chance to get my elbow over the top. Okay, once my elbow's over the top, we go to our regular sequence. Okay, if he's hiding the heel, we've got our sequence. All right, that's what we do, our elbow hop, or we go for our like bridge motion from here. Now, if he turns more, I roll through and catch. If he starts to come up, then I invert through and catch the heel with the 50-50. If he out rolls me, and we happen to, so if I go for it and he out rolls me, then I usually hold on to the ankle and I start to go over the other way. Okay, try to catch it this way. If you happen to catch the heel, then we want to stop the heel slip. Okay, so that's going to be by first a quick turn of the wrist, and then we change to our false grip if we can, and chest over the top. Okay, if you can connect your hands, that's obviously going to do the same job too. Really tight pressure here. To stop the heel slip, I want to make sure my elbow is behind my back. Okay, so my elbow is open. If there's a gap here, that's a gap that if he comes forward, he can slip through. All right, I want that gap gone. Okay, chest down. That's very difficult for Kaya to do. Right. To counter the toe slip, then I want to make sure Kaya doesn't have good access to my shoulder with his free foot. Okay, so if he starts kicking my shoulder, the toe slip's going to work quite well. So that's, again, the chest down position and chest in front. And now it's like if you try and get my toe, that's difficult. Okay, so once we get this position, that escape should be out of the way. Right? You're going to get there quick. You want to be blocking that leg, pulling the leg away, and hiding that ability to do the toe slip. To counter the hand fight, again, same thing. If I can get like my feet in position, like for example to outside Sankaku here, or if it was a saddle, it doesn't really matter. But if we're here, it's very hard for Kaya to hand fight. All right, it's very hard for him to get like good grips at this leg, and I can still kind of bridge through his hand fight. If we're back in the 50-50 and now he's got good access to the hands, then usually I'm trying to hide, like get my chest over and try to get my grips, or just like keeping this control while I start trying to take my legs across to be able to kick him away. All right, so we're going to go through the strengths and weaknesses of each of the main leg locking positions that we see. Okay, so we'll first go the standing up. The classic sort of reap, right? So I get into single legs here, maybe we'll turn a bit. Like when someone reaps across and starts going for the heel hook here, right? So what's the pro of this? So I think this is probably the easiest leg entanglement to get to out of them all, like a straight ankle lock sort of position, kind of like single X. I think that's probably easier to get to than any of the other leg entanglements. But I think it's probably the hardest to actually get a finish from, right? So the reap is excellent at exposing the heel. See that? So when you reap across, Kaya's heel will open up. The downside is when I reap, I have very poor ability to stop Kaya from freeing his right knee. So if he just focuses on putting that knee out this way, it's very hard to stop. Now the only thing I've got to stop that really, I can hold with my hand, which will help like a little bit, but probably not a lot. And the other thing is my right leg. Okay? So I can keep this like as tight as I can here, but all Kaya has to do, if he knows how to defend, he's just going to push on the inside of this knee. Even if it just takes a little bit of pressure off, he's going to be able to free that knee. Okay. He's also, a lot of people will also like straighten their leg from here, and it's very hard to then get good pressure to finish with a rip. Okay. So it's excellent for exposing the heel, but very hard to get good finishing mechanics. In fact, even this heel hook's no good. I really need to have like my feet across so I can bridge. Now I can bridge into the side of the knee. See if I reap here, I can't get a good bridge at all until I've brought my leg across to outside ashi. All right. Outside ashi is, so that's when we bring our, now this solves the last problem that we had with the reap, in that if I take my leg across here, it's now very hard for Kaya to turn and free his knee this way, right? If he tries to do that, it's quite difficult to achieve, right? Unless he fully straightens his leg, he might still be able to free it, right? So we've taken care of that problem, and if I catch the heel, it's actually a very strong finishing position. I can create like good bridge into the side of the knee to get the finish. Okay, let's just turn a little bit. Good. Okay, but the problem is it's very hard to expose the heel here. If you looked before, the reap was great for exposing the heel. But when my feet are on this side, if Kaya focuses on turning his knee out, it's very hard for me to get the knee on this side of my hip, which is a requirement to catch the heel basically. As long as his knee stays outside here, very difficult. And slowly, we can start working for leg drags. There's some good back takes that we can do to counter this that we'll cover later. But as a position, it is quite hard to expose the heel in outside ashi. The same thing applies to these positions from when we're both on the ground. Okay, so as long as Kaya focuses on keeping his knee on the outside, heel close to my body, it's very hard for me from outside ashi to dig the heel out. All right, and if we go for the reap, catching up. Yeah. So as long as if I'm here, if I focus on bringing my knee through this, so I block the leg, shoot my knee over the top, it's very difficult to stop that movement from the reap position. So the saddle is excellent finishing position if you're able to catch the heel. I think it's probably the hardest of all the leg positions to get to, so you're going to have the most trouble getting into a position like the saddle. The good thing about it, if I catch the heel, it's very hard, because I've got this leg reaped across here, it's very hard for Kaya to roll out and turn this way. Once I've caught the heel, his only real way to try to go is that way, but he's pretty much stuck. Once you catch the heel in the saddle, they're pretty much done, and you can finish with a good bridge. Okay. The issue is if someone's good at defending, it's very hard to catch the heel. Okay. It's not impossible, but it's quite difficult. Okay. Because if Kaya knows that he needs to turn this way and start to escape that way, then it's very hard for me to chase this. And anytime I chase it, Kaya follows and rolls, and we end up in a similar position, right? So, in fact, it starts to get worse. The real issue on top of this, and we'll see how we can do this better, in my opinion, is that the direction Kaya is going to escape, which is this way, is also the way, like to defend his heel, is also the way he gets out. So if I'm chasing the heel here and Kaya starts to turn, there's this gap See this gap here where the knee is? I mean, I can close that off as much as possible, but he's still going to be able to free the knee in this direction as he goes, especially when he pummels this foot in, right? So if Kaya starts like turning, getting up and pushing and freeing himself, he's going to start to escape while he's protecting himself, okay? And it's very hard for me to stop him starting to kick with that leg, unless we do something that they call double trouble, which is where you grab the far leg, right? Now, when I grab the far leg, this is awesome, but I think every single top jiu-jitsu guy that plays the saddle probably spends most of their time trying to figure out a way to keep this leg and catch the heel. And I still haven't found one that doesn't allow a gap where they can just turn. So there's still, no matter what you do, when I'm holding this, Kaya can still be hiding his heel, all right? It's almost impossible, unless it's really hard to, but like, even when I drag the leg all the way over this way, I still don't have an immediate bite on the heel. Turn more, with your hip out that way. Yeah, good, okay. Now I still don't have a bite on the heel, so if he's defending well, there still is a point where I have to let go of the leg and actually start to chase it. So if Kaya's ready for that, he frees his foot and he goes for that same escape. Okay, so there's this little window to escape there. 50-50 is good in that, it's really good in that I think it's one of the easier, next to the single X, it's probably the next easiest position to get to, quite easy to get into. From most leg entanglements, you can pull yourself into 50-50. So that's one of the pros. One of the cons is there's a lot of defensive options that Kaya has available. So I can be trying to catch the heel, but now there's a whole range of new defenses can come apart from hiding the heel this way. He can now hand fight. He can use his feet to kick himself free, and that makes it a lot more difficult. He can do the toe slip as well as the heel slip, so the toes can slip through as opposed to just the heel. And also, potentially, Kaya could catch me as well, so I have to worry about defending my own legs, whereas positions like the saddle, my feet are safe, okay? One of the best things about 50-50 itself is that the direction, if Kaya wants to free himself out of the position, it's quite hard to do by going the direction where he hides his heel. So he hides his heel this way, but see my right leg chopped across here? Very hard to free that knee that way, compared to the saddle, where there's always going to be like a gap between your legs that they can start to free their knee. So over here, and Kaya starts rolling to his left, I might not catch the heel, but it's often pretty easy to maintain position and keep control. So the way that, let's turn the other side now. The gap is actually this side, okay? If Kaya wants to free his knee, he wants to turn this way. Yeah, free your knee. Yeah, he wants to suck it out that way, all right? And to do that, he has to then expose his heel. So he could have been hiding his heel, but if he wants to get out of the position and turn this way, he now has to expose the heel, give me a chance to attack him, okay? So when you get to the 50-50, you often have a lot of time to attack, because if the person wants to defend, they're often not they're not going to escape. So defense is not in the same direction as the escape generally, whereas in the saddle, the defense is in the same direction as the escape. So when you play 50-50, you've got a lot of time to work, usually, okay? This last position, which I think is the best position, is the outside Senkaku, where I've got my right foot in front of the stomach, my left foot ripped across, okay? So it's somewhat similar in positioning to the saddle and in positioning to 50-50, but I think it takes care of some of the problems that we've had in each of those positions. So the 50-50, for example, one of the issues was that Kaya could hand fight and foot fight, right? So he can bring his hands and feet in. When I go across here, because of my foot being here and I'm across body, if Kaya goes to hand fight, it's very easy for me to like make distance and make that distance. So if he tries to reach towards his heel, I can hide that pretty well and catch that, okay? So the hand fighting's pretty much gone out of the equation when we go to this outside Senkaku, all right? But we've still got our leg position like this. So it's actually very hard for Kaya to, if he just turns and spins and tries to free his knee this way, I can often maintain good position and follow it much better than I can in the saddle when we've got this gap that he can work through, okay? We're having our leg across here, and if you feel it's looser, you can shoot it back a little more towards the 50-50 direction, okay? Additionally, we saw with the saddle, what really gets them to free their leg is not just the turn, but when they start to kick, Okay, now that he kicks, he can really push. He's got his strongest weapon to attack here. When I have this foot across in front of the leg, he can't kick my leg, right? So it's now much harder for him to kick himself free. Sometimes they'll pummel this underneath, right? That's their way to kick, but it's a lot harder to get that positioning than it is from the saddle, where you basically just withdraw your leg and start kicking from there, okay? We can still do a lot of the double trouble sort of stuff and control the leg. I even have a way that we can expose the heel. I can actually, which doesn't work from the saddle, but we can actually rotate them inwards with this and catch the heel without them being able to hide the heel too well. So there's some pros of this position that I don't think you get to see in the saddle. I think it's a little easier to get to than the saddle. You can go from the saddle to the outside Senkaku, and this is my favorite leg locking position. So when we're in 50-50, where both of our legs are entangled like this, I generally, obviously at any point if you can catch the heel, you take the heel, but in the meantime, you're aiming to upgrade your position and make it more advantageous to you, because right now it's even, okay? If I can, I want to free my knee, okay? Now I'm in a position we call 80-20, my knee's free, Kaya's knee is still trapped above the line of my hips. And from there, even better, if I can get my left foot across as a reap into what we call outside Senkaku. One other method of going here is taking your leg across first, then reaping and freeing your knee last. Okay, so it can be that your knee will free first, or it can be that your knee will free at the end to get into this position. But generally, I'm looking for either of those progressions to a position now where essentially Kaya has no immediate offense on me, where I've got a chance to attack him. All right, so there's actually 5 things that I tend to be focusing on while I'm in the 50-50 position. And these are battles that are all occurring at the same time. So you're trying to win each of these battles or ensure that you're getting them to occur. Okay, so at any point, we're trying to usually separate, usually Kaya's got his legs crossed. At any point, if I can separate his legs and catch the heel, I will do that. I need to always be defending at the same time, like I need to be defending myself from getting leg locked, okay? I need to defend, so I need to make sure that either my feet are crossed, or there's some ways that we prevent them from getting the leg locks, which we'll go over. I need to stop Kaya from freeing his knee, because once his knee's free, it becomes a lot more difficult for me I basically can't catch him unless I can drag that back in. I'm looking to free my own knee, like so. Or I'm looking to shoot my leg across to the far side as well. All right, so when we're in the 50-50, there's 2 types of finishes we will tend to use. We'll either have the rotation finish, where we're trying to twist the knee, at least to get it into the point where we can then bridge from there. Or we'll be tending to try to get side on and get the bridging finish. From the outside Senkaku, it's pretty much always going to be, we're looking for the bridge finish, because we're side onto the knee pretty much to begin with. So one thing I really encourage you to learn is how to defend your legs using just like a foot fight essentially, okay? So we can hand fight, which we will go over later, how to do that, but if I'm sitting forward and fighting with my hands, I have no chance of getting offense going at all, okay? So I'm all just defense. If you get comfortable while Kaya's trying to catch my heel, if I get comfortable defending just by using my legs here and getting good positioning, like so, then at the same time I can be now starting to catch him and fight to get my positioning better, okay? Or my finish even, okay? So what I strongly encourage you to do in training is spend a bit of time, without doing any hand fighting at all. Don't even cross, we'll go over it, different ways of defending, but less even just crossing your feet, open feet position, and practicing not getting heel hooked. So Kaya's trying to attack me here, and practice learning how to deal with this fight, okay? Because if they can't catch you there, you're gonna have a way better chance of getting your offense going. So one thing you'll notice when you see some of the rolling footage, a lot of the time I'm actually playing an open 50-50, where my legs are actually apart and like holding the knee in place, and that way to me this gives me the best ability to use my legs. So again, I strongly encourage you to start to get good at playing from positions like this, more than what I'd say is the closed and tight 50-50, which to be honest, I find harder to get my offense going. Okay, so we will work on this, but get used to, you know, as you get more experienced at it, opening your legs, keeping the knee trapped and fighting from there. The other thing you might want to know is, like, is there a best side to go to? And probably ideal is that I get on my right side, so I'm side on to the knee here, because now I get good bridging pressure on the leg. That said, you can really attack from both sides. Could be that Kaya gets on his right side. I've still got a lot of attacks that I can do and set up finishes from here too. Okay, so to be honest, I don't place heaps of emphasis about having to get to either side. I focus more on the battles that are going on for control of the positions, rather than like which side I'm on per se. Generally though, if I can get on my right side, it's a little better. All right, now we're going to cover 50-50, and we're going to cover it in 5 different, really 6 sections. Okay, the 5 things we're working on. Okay, so first, how to defend my own legs from getting caught. Second, how to free my knee line. Third, how to prevent Kaya. So when I say free my knee line, I want to get my knee free. I want to prevent Kaya from freeing his knee, like this. So how we can go about that. And going from when we free our knee line into the outside Senkaku, where I get grip, or I get to this position. So, or we're always trying to upgrade to this position. And we're going to cover the other way of doing that, which is bringing my leg first, reaping across, and getting to here. We're going to cover how to unlock the legs, and then work from here to catch the heel. Okay, and then we'll go through, once we have the heel, how do we finish from there. Okay, after that, the next section we'll cover from the outside Senkaku, which is a very similar battle, but I just have better leg position. Alright, so we're going to talk about how to not get heel hooked yourself first. Okay, so there's quite a lot of options we've got here actually. First, you can cross your feet, and this is gonna, like, while my feet are crossed, if Kaya tries to heel hook me, that doesn't work. Okay? It's not an effective heel hook. So if they do that, you just kind of straighten your leg a bit, and they shouldn't be able to tap you while your feet are crossed. Okay. That said, I do limit my mobility a bit. So as I said before, I actually often like to then open my legs and start to move. But generally, if I want to make it hard for Kaya to open my my crossed feet, I'll tend to put this foot like behind the back a little bit. Okay. So now if Kaya tries to reach for that foot, he has to kind of like overextend a bit, and that can give me a chance to get my own attack going while he's doing that. So we can definitely cross our feet. We can, if your feet are open, all right? So best case is your foot is not like dangling out to the side here. Okay, so if I happen to open my feet, or if Kai's opened my feet, so he's unlocked my feet here, then I don't want to have my foot just dangling here. This is where it can get caught. So there's a few places we can put it which make it harder or give us more time to react in case Kaya tries to attack. First of all, if you put your heel nice and close to the hip, see I've pulled my knee back a little here as well. Okay, try and dig that heel now. Okay. See, it's like you can't get the toes caught underneath the armpit, so you'll get an easy toe slip out of this, as we'll see later. So even if he does manage to pull that in, I should be able to slip my toes out using my other leg. Okay. Even better than that, foot up on the shoulder, foot just here. Okay. Try and hit a hook now. So, see, I get more time to recognize, like, I'm like, okay, he's going to be pulling it back in. I start bringing my other leg in to defend. Okay. Or foot all the way across to the other side here. Okay, so this is just like with an open leg here. We're obviously actively fighting with our other leg too. Okay, so generally with my left foot, if Kai is going to catch my heel, if I can just push his shoulder back, if his shoulder can't come over the line of my toes, he's going to have a lot of trouble to catch it. Okay, so what he needs to do is bring his shoulder, like, if you're going to dig the heel, yeah, see that? Now he's caught the toes, now I'm stuck. Okay, the easiest thing to be doing, go back, is like kicking that back so he can't go over that. All right. In addition to that, if I feel the leg is on this side and I can't work for that, then I want to be hiding the heel, okay? So I then want to be pointing the toes and turning the heel this way, okay? Just like in the saddle and other leg locking positions where we hide the heel. So now if Kaya tries to catch that heel, he's not going to be able to unless he does his rolls, and we have to roll with him to continue to hide. So if you go through that roll, I can roll with him, and it is difficult to get back. So then we've got, so that's just like open leg position, always working this foot fight, always working to kick free and go for there. We did cover the toe slip, and so the heel slip and the toe slip in an earlier section, so I'm not going to go over a lot of detail on that. Just know from here, like if they do catch, you've still got a chance at coming forward and heel slipping, and you definitely have a chance of toe slipping here if they do actually catch your heel. And lastly, if you feel that's not available, go back, then I can start to hand fight. Okay, so this is our last option, where again we covered this in an earlier section. But if I want to grip onto if we're going to hand fight, I tend to want to control the elbow, try and keep that elbow close, and give little room for this reap to come across. Because if he reaps, my hand fight starts to disappear. Okay, I can't come forward now because of this leg position. Okay, so we go back. When you hand fight, curl in close, hold on to the arms here, and then you're going to start using your foot to kick yourself free. It can be here, or we can start to pummel inside and kick the foot open like that. All right, so now Kaya, we're just going to run Kaya through some of those defenses. He's going to have a go at it, and we'll just check that everything's good. Okay, so Kaya crosses his feet like this. Actually, generally with this as well, when you cross your feet, don't put it up right at the knee. So here, you got to watch the toe hold, okay? So if I get the toe hold here, this is nasty, all right? If he's got his feet locked a little closer to the ankle, if I go for the toe hold, just straighten your legs, and I lose everything, okay? But ideally here, so lock your feet, and then right now I can be reaching to open your feet, right? So if you can, you want to hide this underneath my back. This is probably the safe way to approach it. Now it's much harder for me to go for this. I now have to extend and start trying to get back at that. So you got more time to defend. All right, let's go from an open foot position. So let's say I've opened your feet. So first of all, flare your knee out a bit. So you don't want to have such a gap. Yes, here. Okay, so now if I try to dig, it's much harder, and you should be pushing that shoulder back here. Anytime it gets in, yes, good. Hard for me to catch that. See, all right, this is one time I want to be pulling your heel in from the knee, right? Okay. You can even put your foot to here. Okay. Here, now you've got time, so I have to then move out of the way. You should be able to have plenty of time to continue your foot fight. You can bring it above my shoulder here. Okay, again, now you know, you could be attacking me now, and then when you feel that I start going for this, okay, now you just make sure your defense is in place, okay? If I do manage to catch it to here, start to hide your heel this way. Okay, yes, now it's hard for me to dig. Generally, I don't go straight to this because notice how it's very hard for you to attack me from here. That's why although the hiding the heel is a great defense, you don't really get a chance to attack yourself because he's turning this way, very little offense. Whereas if he can do the same things, but from here, and he's protecting himself well, he can be turning facing me, opening my legs and starting to attack his own heel. Right. And do a heel slip. So come forward. Yep. Kick into my elbow, lift your hips up, kick through, yes, nice, good. And toe slip, so we go here. This is obviously when it's shallow, usually works quite well as I start to roll to the side, get it right under the shoulder with your toes, and slip from here. And then, if I do catch this, comes forward if it's all locked in, hand fight. Controlling that near the elbow. See if you grab my wrist here. If you grab my wrist, I can start to extend my back. This might even be enough to start twisting the heel and make him react and turn, and then I can catch it, right? So if he gets my elbow, I have no ability to bridge right now, okay? So now he can start working his other leg in, kicking my hand off, and freeing himself from position. Okay, going back to relocking the feet or back to those positions we talked about earlier. We'll now talk about preventing the knee line from slipping. So if essentially, as I said earlier, if Kaya frees his knee, then it's very hard for me to get offense going. I should say, sometimes I let them think their knee is free when I know I've got the ability to pull it back, and they start removing their defenses of their heel and I actually use that to catch the heel. So you actually see, that's probably actually quite a lot of my heel hooks come from that. Remember, this is the way that Kaya gets out, okay? So, I'll just quickly talk about that, but if I've got the top of the knee and the heel here, Kaya's knee might be free right now, but I feel like I've got a strong chance of pulling that back in. So if you try and kick that free, I can usually work that back in and then it's done, okay? So sometimes by letting him get to there, catching heel, that's gonna be a bad decision for Kaya, right? But first of all, it's not like my right leg here will not work well to stop the knee. So I'm gonna back heel as hard as I can here, free your knee, Kaya. He's gonna free his knee pretty well, like that, right? What I wanna do is I need to have pressure like pulling the knee towards this way, okay, in this direction, okay? That can be done with my legs. So I can cross my feet and have good pressure inwards with my legs here. I will say, don't do that by like rotating like that. Why? Look at the toe hold, okay? So if Kaya wants to grab the toe hold here, he's now got a decent chance. Even across near the ankles here, it's still a little risky where I am right now because I've turned, like this is good pulling power against the knee, but it's dangerous for my legs. So I'd much rather be foot like out, but still pinching in like that. So if you try and get the toe hold here, okay, you should feel that's a lot more stretch. That can fight that a lot harder, okay? But it needs to be pulling tight here to prevent the knee. We can also play an open 50-50 position where I'll tend to reach underneath the line of the knee here and cup like this, okay? Not over, like this, pull your knee free here. It's too easy. But actually like cupping through this way and pulling my elbow tight towards my ribs and hand pressuring in this direction, okay? Free your knee now, okay? So I should be able to do that without my left leg at all. It's just taken over that roll, all right? Some other things we can do is try to like put like a wedge in. So this is actually like, both of these have been physically holding the knee in. We can also create like wedging pressure. So if I put pressure down here at the ankle, it will start to drive the knee back up, okay? I can do that with my torso, like this. So I kind of like pull my right knee in tight and do that. So drop your knee to the ground here, okay? You see it's stuck, just because you have to have this back heel going on, okay, to do that. And dropping down my torso, you could have your hand could hold this. I don't do this too often because when I'm holding like that, I can't dig the heel, whereas with my torso is doing it, I can be actually digging the heel while that occurs. Another one is that we'll see is sometimes people will like reach your forearm through, gripping your far leg, and be using that to kick the knee up, okay? So again, a little bit of pressure on the ankle here. Can just be from my elbow or whatever, but now if Kaya wants to free his knee, he's gonna really struggle to do that. So the strategy here is, we're in the 50-50. I'm looking to either free my knee or take my foot to the other side, okay? So they're the two aims with my right leg usually. So if I can get on my right side, I'm looking to free the knee, okay? It's often hard on my right side to find room to take my leg to the other side, but that can happen. We're gonna go through that, but usually it's freeing the knee first and then it's leg to the other side. If my knee's still trapped, it's very sort of stuck and I don't wanna open my legs to try and take it to the other side. You'll have a chance to attack, okay? Whereas if I turn around, if I happen to be playing 50-50 more on my left side, I'm usually looking for like a foot over the other side first and then looking to change to free my knee afterwards. All right, so now we're going to talk about freeing your own knee. Okay, so we didn't want their knee to free. We want to free our own knee and at the same time prevent their knee from freeing. Okay, this is where I think I see most people lose the knee line when they try to free their own knee. So what will often happen is we're here, we'll just turn a little bit. I go to free my knee and then you do the same and then we're both out. Okay, we're both out of the 50-50 now. All right. I want to get to 80-20, so I need to make sure that doesn't happen. All right, so let's just first look at what's holding the knee in. So Kaya's got gonna cross his feet, and he's gonna have good pressure with his leg, preventing my knee from freeing, okay? So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take away that pressure from that knee. Let's turn a bit more. All right, so you see this knee here, blocking my knee from freeing. I'm gonna put pressure to block. All right, now you're not gonna be strong enough, probably, to like push and open the leg. Okay, if Kaya keeps that tight, no way I'm gonna push it open with my own strength. What I'm gonna do is move myself away, okay? So I block the knee, start to move myself around the corner here to free my knee. All right, so I block them and I hip escape, okay? Yeah, hold that nice and tight, Kaya. Keep that triangle tight. Good, okay? So his knee is trapped, my knee is now free. All right, let's have a look at that from the other angle, because you're gonna need a post with your hand. So you're actually gonna have to need a hand on the mat, the opposite hand on the knee, and I have to put my foot on the mat to hip escape, okay? So again, block, foot has to come a little wide, all right? Notice, this is where like, I'm keeping tight with my knee here to stop his knee from freeing. Just be wary of the toe hold. So you see I've locked pretty low down on my ankles to make that more difficult, because I definitely, if I try and do this like this, I definitely can get caught with the toe hold. All right, so a little lower down. You'll have to go wide, so you've got some base, block, and then I can start to free my knee around the corner and then tuck my feet nice and tight. All right, now let's just have a look at the positioning here that I want to end up in. I don't want it, it's not like I'm going straight back. I don't want this gap. See this gap here between our legs here? Now Kaya can start to like free himself using that. You know, he might be able to work ways to get through that gap. When you free your knee, so just kick your legs over, I want to just like suck my hips away and pull my knee nice and tight under here, okay? Some of Kaya's defenses are from bringing this foot in to like kick himself free, okay? And you see that's kind of annoying to get to here. Like, you can probably get it a little bit tight, but it's not easy, okay? If I do the same thing, so we go back to locking your feet. If I free my knee and I'm like this, okay, step in, okay, now he's got like a good purchase, okay? There's this gap here. So the more I can scoot around the corner here, bringing my knee towards the knee, and I'm pulling in like my knees tight towards my chest here, the better position I get for this 80-20. All right, so obviously to stop Kaya's knee from freeing, my left knee is going to be staying tight. Now, if he really wants to free his knee, it's going to be hard with his feet crossed for him to get like good hip out. Now, you can see I'm on my right hip right now, so like that's made this much easier to free my knee. So Kaya might open his legs and start hipping out to try and do the same thing, okay? Yeah, so as soon as you recognize that, like push down on the ankle, okay? If I put downward pressure on the ankle here, free your knee, see it keeps his knee, move that leg out of the way for a second. See that, yeah, it keeps his knee elevated, okay? And it's actually perfect time now to catch the heel and start to work for our finish, okay? So they open their legs while you're freeing your knee, time to block their knee from freeing, and an excellent time to start to catch the heel. So once we're in this 80-20 position, we're gonna wanna go to, like if we can catch the heel, we'll go through this, there's that battle of unlocking the legs going on at all times, but my next aim is actually to get to the outside senkaku, which will be a stronger position. Again, another really common time that the person will free their own knee as you go to do this, okay? So let's have a look at the sequence. So go here. I'll usually, even if I haven't unlocked the legs, I usually like to just hold here. It gives me a bit more like closure with this top leg, okay? I need to keep that pressure at all times. If I can hold here, I feel like a little more stable. So I can pull his legs away a little bit, that's excellent. I do not want to take my leg across and leave my right knee behind, okay? Pull my leg up now, and then catch the heel hook. This happens sometimes, right? And they pull you back into a heel hook. So don't just assume that because you've freed your knee that you're safe and you can leave your foot dangling here. here, because they can, as we're going to see in the offensive side, they can definitely dig back for a heel hook. Okay, so I'm going to take my foot to the middle. Right now, I don't want to, like, I might have my feet crossed. I don't want to just like unlock and go to the middle, because as soon as I unlock, just turn it a little bit. As soon as I unlock, go for the heel. Okay, you can start to look to pull that heel through potentially. All right. What I want to do is give myself a little space by lifting my foot up. Okay, foot up, but notice I'm still tight at the leg, and I'm probably putting downward pressure on this ankle so he doesn't free the knee. So try and free your knee. Okay, see how that's stuck? Right, go back. Without that ankle pressure, if I do this, free your knee, probably can do it. Okay, so when I get control of the legs, like you might want like some, you're gonna cross your feet probably, but like some downward pressure here, or pulling the leg out straight. Okay, if you've got a straight leg, try and free your knee. Like if it's out straight, you can't suck the knee free. You can try and like back out, which is a different problem, but you can't like hip out to free the knee. Okay, so we're either going like this to straighten the leg, and then I should be very comfortable. You're not going to free that now, eh? As I go there, or I'll be putting downward pressure on the ankle, lifting my foot up. Okay, try and dig the heel. Boom, my foot can come to the middle now. Okay. So we're here, up. Okay, don't worry, they can try and heel hook that, that's not a thing. Okay, don't worry about that. That's like, he's got no control of my knee line, it's never gonna, like I can always just roll with that and that's no problem. Okay, so lift this up, foot goes into the middle, keep your knee tight, and then you shoot your foot across. Notice how I never open that, so I don't go like this and give his knee room to move. This always stays tight, pinching on top. And then I can reap across. We have the outside Senkaku. Okay. As soon as you get here, try and pull my knee back in now. Okay, it's much harder, right? As he pulls, he's just pulling my foot straight into his stomach. This is one of the biggest changes that made a big difference in my game. Like getting used to putting the foot here first, and then starting to change my leg position, because the hand fight and the ability to drag the knee back in significantly reduced. He would have to fall backwards, clear, and then try and clear it, which would give me plenty of room to shoot over. All right, so Kai is going to have a go at freeing the knee and then getting across to the outside Senkaku. Okay, so first, make sure you got this really tight. Yeah. So left hand, yeah, on this knee, good, and then hip out, but don't go backwards. Like imagine you're getting around the corner this way. Yes, good, excellent, cool. Now just watch this, right? So have your feet locked. Go back. Feet locked a little more there. Yeah, that'll be hard for me to catch. Just do that once more. So here, you're gonna go to hip out, lock the knee. Yes, that's very hard for me to get. Okay, good. All right, now you're gonna work to go all the way to, let's turn around so I can see the leg work on here. You're gonna go to outside Senkaku. So you're gonna either try to pull my feet away a little bit. So you're keeping good pressure here, this is good. Yep. Yes, good. Okay, this makes it way harder for me to slip the knee just because my legs are straight. Okay. So you can do that. We'll do one with that. So now you're gonna. So if you just open your legs and try and take your leg to the other side, I might be waiting for that. I'm gonna catch your heel, right? So you want to lift up to my arm. Okay. See how I can't dig? Yeah. Keep your knee tight. Just your foot up. Yes, good. All right, and then come across just to the middle here. All right, watch this now. So if I try and pull, it gets stuck here. Whereas if the foot was on the other side, when I pull, it pulls the heel in to a position where I can dig to finish, okay? So when Kai lifts up, he goes into the middle. I struggle with, now I'd have to like fall back, but he's now got time to come across, lock in, and he's got like a good back heel now. Great position to set up the finish. sometimes when you go to, like if you're in the 80-20, you go here and then I want to reap across, like so. I want to keep everything tight and get my grips, do the reap. Sometimes Kaya might like block my left leg, okay? So I get to here, and he blocked my leg, and then he's going to be looking to, so it's like kind of hard to get the reap in. I don't want to swing wide, right? So I don't want to go like this, okay? Way too much room to free the knee if I try to reap like that, okay? So just don't do that at all. What you'll do, if you're here, just take your foot then to the other side, okay? You'll find a way from here to like, now it starts to get, like I can scoot around the corner a bit, it gets tighter, and I can find ways to keep fighting from there. So if you think about this is kind of stable, but eventually, like if I can't immediately come across here, I'm gonna shoot that all the way across. You can see that's a bit tighter on the legs now. Okay, so now I have a little more play to like move. I can even, let's have a look at this. So instead of before, right, I was taking my foot like this, okay? But when I get it, my foot was on the inside and I was keeping my knee in and I was kind of like retracting like that, right? Here I can actually go like crossways, yeah? So see I've turned my knee outwards, right? So when I cut across, right? So when I cut across with my right leg, I can shoot like that, okay? And then that will turn me and get me into the outside sinker. Okay, so the progression is often from here to here. And look, if I'm not holding here, the next thing is to hold the top of the knee too. Okay, so now here I feel like Kai might be trying to pull his knee free. So I'm just holding that to stabilize there, and then I get in better position to shoot over and come across. So this time, Kaya, you free your knee to 80-20. Good. You get your foot in the middle. And maybe I'm like holding, maybe I hold this and it's trying to stop the reap from occurring. So then, if that's the case, this foot's going to the outside of the hip. Good. And see, you can get in a bit tighter there. Yeah. Good. Excellent. And even if you now don't have to go like before you were going like this, right? Now you can even flare your foot out and shoot across that way. Okay. And then you kind of like go into the shoulder a bit and use that to lift your hips up. And yes. Good. Okay. So we do that again. Once we're here, I can be holding this tight, trying to like clear this out of the way. Boom. Okay, good. And then you should find a way to, yes, good. Excellent. Okay, and you're holding the top of my knee, which is stopping me from bringing the knee. And then that's it. Okay. So when we do go on this side where Kai's got his knee down, on the side that he's usually trying to free his knee, it's important, obviously, that I've got good defensive posture, so I'll be crossing my feet and keeping him like as tucked under his back as possible. But it's also really important, at this point, it's really important my squeeze between my thigh and my chest here, and being on my side like this. And I'll often be holding the knee here too. But it's got to be like everything curled in. Okay. Essentially, in this position, Kaya's going to want to open his legs. Like if he wants to move at all to try to free his knee, he's going to have to open his legs. It's going to be stuck otherwise, okay? And as soon as he opens his legs, I can dig the heel, okay? If you're like more extending out here and then Kaya opens his legs and goes to free his knee, he probably will. Okay, everything has to be curling like back in towards me like this. I'm digging my feet right in at the hip and kind of like behind the back a bit. Knees in nice and tight here, okay? Obviously, if he's crossed his feet, let's turn a little bit. If he's crossed his feet and he's not opening them, then I can be holding the knee with one hand, opening and reaching for the toes and digging with the other, okay? Kaya should find it's very difficult to attack me from here, okay? Even if he opens my legs, my foot is so tight here, I've got easy access to kick the shoulder and be working my feet across to outside Senkaku as well, or to catch the heel as I'm doing that if he ever opens his feet. So now we're going to go through our option to take our foot to the other side, reap across, and get to the outside Senkaku this way. Okay, so as I said earlier, this is often from when I'm on my left hip or maybe a little more centered compared to being on my right hip where I'm trying to free my knee first as a general rule. Okay. Now, just first off, we'll turn around. don't reap with your left leg without taking your right leg first. We talked about this earlier, but just you really have to watch the counter heel hook here with my foot staying on this side. So I don't like to leave that dangling there. So essentially, Kai is usually looking to attack me, and I'm looking to attack him. Right, so start working at my legs. All right, so we're doing our foot fight. Generally, what I want to do is just keep the shoulder away. If the shoulder's away, I feel confident to be able to lift this foot up. All right. Now I might go here. If I'm holding onto this knee, so from when we're on this side, I tend to more use my left hand just to hold the knee to stop this is my grip, more so than staying here pinching. Because if I'm pinching, I don't get to foot fight very well at all. All right. So once we're on once Kai is on his right side, I'm holding the knee, looking to kick that shoulder away. All right. Once I've got that, I can actually retract my knee back. Okay. There's no real danger in me doing that. All right. And then just kicking up and over, and that will take me here. Okay. So in fact, the more I pull my knee back, the tighter that chest to thigh connection is, and the harder it is for Kaya to free his knee. So if I'm doing this, so you're fighting for my leg, good. I can pull back and across. Okay. And putting my foot on the other side here. Alright, other options, sometimes you're going to be straight and over. Sometimes you just Kaya's looking for the leg, like start digging the heel and so on. Good. Yeah, sometimes it's just starting with the foot here and then working to go back and across from here. Right, so however you can do it. It doesn't matter if you flare your knee out or if you hip in and go a little more this way. Okay. All right, let's now look at the position that you end up in there. All right. So now that I've held this, got my foot across. So this is basically outside ashi. All right. This is supposed to be a good leg lock position for Kaya, but I actually think this favors me a lot more because we're going to get to the outside Senkaku from here. All right. So first of all, I'm only in danger for the outside heel hook here. What could he attack? Outside heel hook or straight foot lock, okay? I'm only in danger if he can expose my heel. Try and catch my heel here. I just have to point my toes, see where my knee is on this side of Kaya's body. I'm still pulling his knees open, and it gives him very little ability to use his legs to twist my knee across. If he can pull my knee across here, okay, now I'm in a lot of danger. But he's gonna really find that difficult because of this position. I'm gonna try and pull my knee across. Yeah, I'm pointing my toes and I'm tucking my heel as tight to the ribs as possible. Okay, so it's next to impossible to dig the heel from here. I'm gonna make that even more difficult by bringing my left leg over. Okay? Now he's not gonna be able to. I'll say it could possibly heel hook this if I put it under his armpit. Yeah, that would actually be able to tap me, but I'm not going to put it there. We just go back, just put it over the shoulder, okay? So there's a massive movement he would have to do to try to heel hook that leg. And you should be able to see it coming in a slight point of the toes and turn, and he won't catch that, okay? So hold on to my leg here, okay? So now that this one's over, if I bridge up and forward, it helps me hide my heel even further. So if Kaya's getting a bit of a dig at the heel, I lift my hips and I use this to turn me even more. Yeah, see my heels slip and my hips shift like that. So I'm kind of coming forward, posting on my hand and slipping more, okay? And then what's gonna happen is my knee will slip out. All right, as soon as he's lost the heel, my knee will slip out, I can lock my feet, and I'm in the outside Senkaku, okay? So this is 100% a direction that I try to go. I'm not, so I genuinely think this is massively in favor of me over Kaya, okay? During that battle, I can be digging the heel too. So while he's looking for mine, I can be looking for a much stronger heel hook, which is the inside heel hook, and be looking to get the finish from there immediately. All right, so we're in the 50-50. You're gonna be, so hold this knee, good. You can be here, or you can be, it could be I'm on my side a little bit, that's fine, good. Yep, you're gonna kick my shoulder, good. Just so I'm gonna be digging your heel, right? Try to catch this, good. Kick my shoulder, lift your foot, retract your knee, good, and go across, yes, good. Now, put this nice and straight. and like go pretty straight and tuck your toes here. Okay, so and focus on keeping your knee on this side of my hip. Okay, remember if I manage to pull across, which I can't yet, no way I'm digging this heel, right? People will try that. Yeah, so you keep that. I start going for this. Now you're gonna swing your left leg over the top, pretty much to here. Okay, good. Start to bridge up and retract to your right. So come up on your right hand. Yep, bridge up towards me and retract your knee. Yeah, good. A bit more, Yes, good. All right, and then lock in the outside Senkaku. So the triangle here. Good. All right, now you can attack me. I got nothing on. Once more. Over here. I'm attacking here. I'm gonna kick my shoulder. Good. Good. I start looking for this. Good. Yes. Excellent. All right. Good. The straight footlock, if they can't bridge, it's pretty hard to get a good straight footlock. So Kaya goes for he grabs around my ankle here. Like to finish the straight footlock, what he wants is one of his feet attached to my hip here. Okay. Now bridge, and he can actually put his hips in and get like a good finish. Right. We were already holding this knee. Okay. So if he tries to put his foot on my hip, this foot, that's not going to happen. I'm swinging over the top already. And so while he's like looking for that, I can really start to counter well. Now, if he really just like holds the ankle, the thing is if he holds the ankle and he won't let go, I'm actually going to struggle to free my knee. Okay, that's the annoying thing about the straight ankle. So what I'd be looking to do actually is start getting up, pummeling through and catching the heel here. All right, once I've got that, it's really bad. Okay? If I sit in, this is like a brutal way to finish, or even if I went more belly down, it's even worse. But you can really get a good finish there. Okay? So once you learn how to do the unlocking the legs, this should be pretty easy for you to do. So as long as you're holding, if you go back, the whole time I was holding this knee, I shoot my leg over the top. If you went for the straight ankle, cool. We can start to get up, keep this knee held, pummel through, catch the heel, and we can finish. Go straight ankle, which really is a dumb idea from here. So start to get up, dig between my legs, and start to catch the heel. Yes, good. So when we've brought our foot across to here, one other thing you have to watch out for is the Aoki lock. Okay, we talked about the straight ankle, so if Kaya goes for a straight ankle lock here, I'm fine, okay? I do have to be a little careful of one thing, because I wanna, like if he goes for the heel hook, I wanna hide my heel this way, okay? Now, if I hide too much and Kaya gets a good chance to bring my heel in front for the Aoki, this could be a problem for me, okay? Usually, it's just about recognizing this. I don't know if you can see, but Aoki means my heels come in front, so it's kind of almost like a rotational lock as opposed to a straight ankle lock. So if I'm hiding my heel this way, and then I sense that Kaya, as soon as I sense that he starts trying to bring my heel up, I'll just point my foot back straight, like it's a straight ankle. As I said before, there's no risk of the straight ankle really, because his feet can't step on my hips. Okay, so as soon as you sense that, just like turn. It's a little bit of a battle you're gauging, right? If he's trying to go for the outside heel hook, then I want to definitely be keeping my heel tight. As soon as I sense that he then wants to pull my heel in front, I will go back here, because then he doesn't have an immediate outside heel hook again. And obviously this whole time we're working to pull that leg free, and we're also, while he's doing this stuff that to me is quite easy to defend, I'm also working at exposing Kaya's heel, which is much harder to defend. All right, so we're talking about uncrossing the legs. So again, this can happen in the 50-50. Like I'm looking to do this immediately. I'm looking to do it if we get to 80-20, and I'm looking to get it if we manage to get to the outside Senkaku. At any point, if I'm able to unlock the legs, I now have a chance to try to catch the heel. Okay, so let's have a look at how we can do that. So this one, I like to think of it, first of all, two principles that are going to be important for this. One, if you can like work against their hamstring, so what's going to keep like a good lock is like a back heel from, you know, the more Kaya can back heel here, the stronger that can be. So the more I can kind of like pull right at the end of the lever, which is at the heel, this way, it takes away a lot of that back heeling string. Okay? Or it can be like by gripping the toes. This works against that as well. So even though the legs are strong, we've got a pretty long lever here to actually work against hamstrings, which are not the strongest muscle in your legs. So you can actually have a decent chance at working against that. Now the other thing to look at is generally people will make this hook and they'll jam their foot like right in that hook, right? We're gonna grip the top of the toes and like make it so it's no longer a hook. You'll see that in a moment. Okay, so this is gonna be our first one that we do. I'm gonna reach underneath the toes here, and my left hand's gonna shoot through, not grab the heel. So this is, see how he's still got his hook here, but I'm gonna reach all the way through and come to the top of the toes. Okay, and you can see actually even just my left arm here will work against his hamstring if I do this little lever action. So I kind of like row back like that, and that becomes quite a strong action. If I do that at the heel, no pressure at all. So under the leg, top of the toes, and we can leave it like that. Okay. I should mention this is something Jason Rao had shown us, and I've also seen that since then watching you know, Tex Johnson and Philippe and so on, like using this toe grip. That's something I've been playing with a lot, and it's really effective. Okay, so reaching underneath through to the top of the toes and opening like that. It's a great lever. Okay. Now on top of that, we can be reaching to grabbing the toes with our right hand. So basically both hands coming through, gripping the top of the toes here. Try your hardest to hold your feet crossed. Okay. It's very easy to open. Okay. Like so. Okay. Alright, so Kaya's gonna have a go now at unlocking the feet. The first one, he's gonna be on his right side a bit, or at least maybe even neutral. And he's going to go to do it from here. So top of the toes, yep. And you're going to lever with this elbow, yes, good, and push this one out, yes, again, and then immediately. So then you're going to put your elbow to here, good, because now it's like half. I can only lock back here, but that's still not very safe, right? But actually, you still want to block that anyway. So your left hand's going to be blocking here, or your right hand as well. So kind of having both ready to, yeah, now I can't connect. Yeah, I'm in a lot of danger. Right, so just do the, I'm gonna like lock tight now. Top of the toes, right to the top of the toes. Good, lever, yes, good, excellent, okay. Sometimes we will be on this side, and often on this side, I'll do a slightly different one. So sometimes people lock like a bit of a deeper triangle here. And because I'm on my left side, it's hard for me, like he doesn't have to worry about the toe hold here because I'm not turned in the correct direction. So when we're here, we're gonna do a similar thing. We're gonna grab the toes, but the levers, it's just gonna be with my left hand will stay on the top of the knee. My right hand will pummel under, and I'll grip the top of the toes here, okay? And you'll see now my elbow will work against that hamstring curl, and I can slip that out, okay? So if you go for keep your triangle locked nice and tight, okay? So I pummel under, come to here, and I start to sit up, and then I put my hand in between, so when he tries to relock the feet, so I'm sort of covering the inside of the foot, try and relock your feet. Okay. Get a chance to dig the heel immediately. All right, so once more, I lock the triangle, through, we look to dig the heel immediately. Now let's do when you're on your other side. So if I'm like this, you can probably just like do that. So see how I've blocked at the ankles? You can probably just do our original first one. So you just do that same, yeah, you can do that, okay? But if I go like a triangle, that one's gonna be hard to do, okay? So now you're gonna reach under, grab the top of my toes, leave your elbow open, good, yeah, and then you can start to work. I should try to cover my foot now. So I'm gonna try to come back to like kick, yes, yeah, good, excellent. And you can start looking to dig the heel. Another grip I'll use, so yeah, anytime I got a triangle, obviously I try to pull the heel away to take away that back heeling pressure, and then I want to unlock the legs. We can grab the toes here. Sometimes I'll feed through to the top of the knee as well. I actually really like this grip because when I open, I can kind of keep everything, like it's very hard for Kaya to fully hide that leg, and I can start looking to get my elbow in and then catch the heel from there. I use this a lot. Especially like when I'm on top. Yeah, Kaya's got his legs triangled, so he's got like outside ashi, and I'll use this a lot by reaching through to the knee, holding the other leg so he can't retract his foot, and covering with my chest. Now if Kaya tries to hide his heel now, it's next to impossible. I can catch the heel from there, okay? So keep your legs locked. Often we'll be coming through all the way to the knee. Keep your legs locked here, okay? So this should be quite strong. Okay? Sometimes it's difficult to unlock the feet. Look at Kaya putting his feet like kind of behind my back here. So I don't always want to just be coming forward and trying to pump. Like for me, pummeling through this, if you just stay tight, I'm not going to get anywhere, okay? Often what you want to do is bring your body away and your hips forward, okay? Now try and hide those feet, okay? I've got much better ability to like open them out, okay? And it can often just be a push at the back of the heel to open this gap. And now he's unlocked his feet, right? And I can start working to isolate the leg, right? Same on the other side, okay? So if we're on this side, Kaya locks his feet and he's got them like tight to here. I'm not gonna be trying to pummel through this gap. I need to get like this in front of me, okay? My hips go forward, my back arches, okay? Now I can unlock the feet and start working to catch the heel. All right, so sometimes an advanced person will lock their feet like this, keep their knees tight together, pull their heels down towards my hips, and it like gives very little gap to reach your hand through to get to the toes. If there's a strong back heel, it's especially from this leg, it's very hard for me to get my hand all the way deep to grab the toes to unlock. So from here, I'll try to, like I want to get the feet like dangling a bit more, you know, so I'll often like I'll hold the knee and do a little hip escape like that, and now there's a bit more gap here. So if Kaya's holding that tight, making it difficult for me to get through, I can go here, and then I'll often just look like end of the lever here, so underneath the heel, just look to kind of open that. All right. Once I have that, I have a chance to get to the leg. All right. So if you keep trying to back heel and do all that now, you can fight against the back heel here, and then start working in, and now I've unlocked the legs. Okay. So if you go again, okay, keep that really tight, making that difficult. I can hip away a little bit, come underneath the heel, find a way to like get under that and just start like pushing that up. Keep your back heel. You'll be able to open the feet just by pushing on this back heel here, and this will give you free access. Now I've got the toes, very difficult to relock the legs. I can come up and start to get my finish. So just an important thing, once you unlock the feet, to me the most important thing is don't let them relock the legs, because that can be a big battle in trying to do this. So basically if I'm here and I unlock the feet, instead of trying to look, a lot of the time, instead of looking straight to catch the heel and then he brings his other foot in and starts kicking and you lose everything. Like when you unlock the feet, I tend to cover like chest over the top and both elbows kind of on the inside of the shin here, or it might even just be one elbow in and the other one's holding the knee. But now if Kaya starts looking to reconnect his feet or start to kick free, like I can control this leg well, okay? And then once I know I've controlled that well, I've locked that, then we can start digging the heel, okay? So don't just don't unlock and then suddenly go straight for the heel. Like start focusing more on preventing them from reclaiming that position. You might be improving your position at the same time, and then we can start to look to catch the heel. I mentioned this earlier, but if Kai has really brought his heel towards his butt, and let's say I'm in 50-50 or outside Senkaku, if his heel is here, I don't want to try to catch the heel hook here. He's got too many defenses when his foot's so close. He can hand fight, he can heel slip, he can cross his feet again. Trying to catch the heel here is no good, okay? If I've unlocked the feet here, I'm immediately looking to underhook and try to pull this away. And it can be either arm. If that was my right arm, sometimes I'm here, and my left arm will kind of pull it open. And then now that it's open, I can go here, okay? Obviously, you can see between the two, the right arm is preferable because I'm able to keep better control. But once you've unlocked the feet, if the foot's there, pull it away. So talk a bit about, like, once we've opened the legs, how do we catch the heel, and try to get the finish from here, okay? Maybe we'll first go from like on a position where the heel's kind of exposed like this, where I can just almost always dig the heel like that. And then we'll go from when the heel's a bit more hidden, okay? Some of these options we've covered before and I won't go in heaps of detail. Some we haven't covered, and just the general strategy from the 50-50 position we haven't covered too much yet. So, okay, so when I catch if I manage to open the legs, let's say we're on this side, and I've done this open here, or sometimes, to be honest, sometimes I'm holding the knee and the person tries to escape and they open their legs anyway, and I catch it from here, okay? So what's my option to finish here? When I catch the heel from 50-50, there's two main finishes we want to do. We either do the rotation finish and then work to a bridge, or we turn in and try and get to essentially the outside Senkaku, okay? Now it can be hard, I think, to finish just like locking a 50-50 here and just bridging without at least getting some rotation first, okay? Because if I just bridge, his knee bends and it doesn't do much, right? So if you can, first off, I don't want Kaya to like come in and hand fight, and because once his hands come in, my bridge is gone, my ability to twist is gone, okay? So if you're early enough, if you catch it here and I'm early enough with it, what's gonna happen? I will start to like roll. Now you don't roll sideways, it's more like a shoulder in, and definitely don't open your elbow, okay? So it's like all tight with your arms and it's all like body motion, okay? Now if I can get this happening, so you can see I'm like, almost like I'm doing an uppercut, doing this, what's Kaya gonna do here? Like, at a certain point, do you feel like hand fighting? Yeah, no, okay? Because if he starts reaching forward, it actually adds like additional twist to the knee. Sorry guys, Kaya's ridiculously flexible, so this will be harder for me to do than even normal, but you can see like when I do this, he doesn't want to come through to hand fight. If he comes through here, yes, he can sit forward, he feels comfortable. But when you get to a certain point, that's not gonna happen, okay? So then he's gonna start to roll, right? Good. And this will give me a good bridge. Right, so let's turn. So what you'll see here, like right now, if I bridge, it bends the knee, not too side on. As I start to rotate, and especially when Kaya starts, like this rotation alone could cause an injury, but he can follow it pretty well. As soon as he starts to turn with it a bit, then his knee is now side on. Okay, see now I'm on the side, like I can attack the MCL now with a bridge, okay? So we can go there, or if we go back, or because I don't have my feet planted on anything, sometimes you get to here and you will just step here. Yeah? You see this in a few of my matches. I'll like just have my feet anywhere around here. By rotating, his knee's now side on enough that if I bridge, that can attack the knee as well as the ankle, okay, compared to where we started. All right, so if we can do that immediately, go for it. That's really good. So first one, Kaya's my heel's exposed and Kaya manages to catch here. So before I manage to connect to his hands, he's gonna start to rotate. So actually his forearms here, connect your hands, twist me. The other way. Sorry, go this way. Yeah, good. And twist me as well. Yes, good, yes. Okay, so if you get to go a little more, if it gets to here, like, and you're like curling in and rotating me this way, like really start turning to your left. Yeah, here I don't feel like coming forward is gonna help. In fact, it's gonna blow my knee. My best bet is to start to move, but now you can start to get your hips onto the side of my knee. Good, just kind of flare this knee out. Yes, good. And that, see if that flares out, gets good bridge into the side of the knee, okay? All right, so now the next scenario, we catch the heel, but maybe Kaya's a little more here, right? And I'm worried about the hand fight. Now, to try to get rid of this ability to hand fight, I'm gonna try to extend the leg away, because the further I can straighten Kaya's leg, the harder it is for him to reach and hand fight correctly, okay? So the more I'm bent in here, the harder that's gonna be. So I'm gonna do a little like, elbow hop, not by opening my elbow, but by kind of like posting on my left hand and moving my elbow away and chest down over the top of the leg here, using a false grip the whole time. All right, so try and hand fight now. Okay. Try and foot fight. All right, so while all this is going on, we're now essentially in 80-20. I lift my foot up, put this to the middle, and I cut across. All right, we now have position to do a side bridge to finish the heel. So again, post on the mat, chest forward. I think the biggest thing people like, I don't want to be here, okay? Here, everything is open and available for kicking and reaching. Chest forward, move away, okay? Like so, okay? My elbow's still tight. Kaya's now in a lot of danger, okay? I can bring my foot to the middle. I still, even here, I don't like to leave my foot open. Sometimes like people drag you, pull my knee back in now. Like, yeah, and he starts hand fighting again, or even catches my heel. Like, I'd still prefer, if you can, in a position like this, still put your foot in the middle. It keeps me safe and stops, it kills the hand fight. So any sort of hand fight that you could do now, if my foot's in the middle, that completely kills that. And it gives me room to shoot my leg across. If you're more, so let's go, you catch the heel now, this way. So to stop the hand fight, you're gonna cover with your chest, go false grip. Here, yep, post on the mat, and then like scoot your elbow away. So right now I can still like reach you, right? Yeah. Bring your like chest and everything all the way away, so straighten my leg. Yes, now much further, more difficult to reach. Okay, now you should lift up your foot into my armpit, take your foot to the middle, and then reap across. Yeah, and that's like as long as your back heel here, you've got strong finishing pressure. So now let's try to deal with when they do actually manage to connect their hands. Okay, so he's managed to come forward and he's got the hand fight going. Right, I will tend to, first of all, if I'm holding on, this is what's killing me, right? He's got a grip on my outer arm, and he's usually going to be trying to, then use his feet to kick free. Okay, so I want to give myself a chance to have some room. Usually by like opening and going false grip and starting to like free this, okay? So I can actually, like if I get false grip and cover with my chest, even though I'm curled up a lot, like I might be able to free this and then hop away again, okay? And now we're back in position where we can attack, all right? There's one other thing that I sometimes do. Let's have a look on this. So let's say like Kaya's grabbed my arm and he might have grabbed my head as well or something. So yeah, sometimes it's like this. And we're in really close, right? From here, I'm never gonna get my right foot across from where I am. Sometimes I actually scoot in a little too deep. Like actually see, I bring my hips closer and I point my knee up, okay? Now, if I manage to kick over the shoulder here, I might be able to get my leg to the other side of the head, all right? Here alone, if you get a chance to, you can start to bridge and finish. And it's actually kind of hard for you to hand fight well while my leg's going over the head, okay? You see, this one, he's pulled me in, grabbed my head. I'm not gonna be able to bring my leg across or extend. I can't bridge at the moment. So actually like point my knee up, sit down, turn a little bit. Point my knee up and I scoot in closer. That can now make a little bit of gap, just enough, okay, just enough. pummel this. One reason I don't do this when I'm here, like I could kick this here, but watch, my heel's exposed, right? So if I try to kick while I'm on my right hip, catch my heel. Yeah, and I could get caught here. Sometimes the counter is stronger than the attack, than the original attack. Yes, exactly. All right. Whereas if I do, like say I turn my heel and point it up, try and catch my heel. Oh. Okay. Good. All right, and then if I do manage to hand fight, okay? So first off, if I get like to here, let go with this, keep your false grip, cover with your chest. So I'm gonna be trying to kick, make it like even a bit more with your chest, come more forwards. So really like lean over. Yes, now it's hard to kick, okay? Start freeing that arm. Good, and then do that post and back heel. Post and like bring it back a bit to straighten the leg. Yeah, because now it's hard for me to hand fight. And you can go back to the finish. Okay. If you straighten that leg too much, so let's say you've straightened it all the way to here, then once you come across, all you want to do, just because sometimes you don't like, it feels a bit weird to try and finish with it fully straight, just lift this knee up a bit and that will start to bend my neck. Now you can kind of like come in with the bridge like that, yeah, cool. All right, and last one, let's turn a little bit for this one. So maybe I'm grabbing like, you've got the heel hook, but I grab like your head and we're in close here, okay? So now you're gonna scoot closer and turn this knee up so that your heel's all more hidden. Yes, it's harder for me to catch that. If you now bring your left foot to kick in my shoulder, yeah, wherever you can. Yep, good. Push back, and now start to bring your right leg across. Good. As long as my shoulders are, yeah, you can go to there or you can go to here. Good. Yeah. So the key there is just that you don't, like even though you've got my heel, if you start like try and keep my shoulder here, just like this, I might take your heel and I actually get like good twist on your knee here. Say I'm side onto you, I can bridge in, whereas you can't bridge too well just here. Yeah. So don't open to kick while your foot's still dangling. You want to at least get it to here, or you hide it and then you can kick like we just did. That's essentially what we're doing. Yeah. Cool. All right guys, so linking the techniques or a quick recap of 50-50 and our options, okay? So defensively, we can cross our feet, we can keep our right foot, we can play in a more open style, which tends to be my preference. We can keep our foot nice and close to the hip if possible. Definitely don't leave it dangling out here. Or we're always trying to take this leg across either to the middle or to the outside, and therefore there's no immediate risk of a heel hook. I want to, if he does manage to start to catch my heel, usually if I can kick the shoulder, that's going to give me a chance to toe slip. Or if he does catch it fully, I can still work through. Otherwise, if he, particularly if he starts trying to like twist sideways, often the heel slip will work best for that. So start twisting this way. Often there, I can start to point forward and kick through. Whereas when he starts going more to this side, the toe slip tends to work a bit better. Okay. I don't want to stop Kaya from being able to free this knee. So if Kaya starts trying to bring this knee to the ground, I can be using my left knee, my left hand. So start trying to free it. My left knee can jam that. Usually like, just watch the angle for the toe hold when you do this, but keeping that knee nice and tight. I can use my left hand, pulling tight here, or I can use these little sort of wedges by pulling my knee back and putting pressure down on the ankle or somewhere near the foot to stop that knee from dropping. All right, to free my own knee, across the feet. I want to post on the inside of the knee, post on my hand, and take my foot out a little bit wide, crossing closer to the ankles than the knee so we don't get toe held. I slip my knee by moving like around the corner here, not like backwards, okay? So I want to actually like scoot around the corner, and we now have the 80-20 position, okay? Once we have the 80-20 position, we want to still not allow them to free their knee, so we can put downward pressure on the leg, or we can start to straighten their legs out, and both of those will make it difficult for them to slip, and I still keep pressure with this leg as I lift my foot up to the armpit, come across, and we scoot across into the outside Senkaku. If he blocks that leg, so that as I go to do that, if he blocks my top leg, I will tend to bring my foot all the way across first, and then we can start to swing over, still holding the knee here now, instead of like I use my hand over the top, and then I can free my knee that way. Okay? Another option is to, especially if I'm on my left hip, I'm often trying to kick the shoulder to make a little bit of space to bring my leg across to the far side. Again, from here, let's turn. We're now in that outside Ashi position. Kai is going to be looking to catch the heel hook. I'm reaping across, lifting my hips, and sucking my knee free to outside Sankaku. Or if he goes for the ankle lock, here, I keep this tight so he can't put his foot on my hip. I'm going to start to get up, and we can start to dig through and catch the heel from here. And then this is much better for us, okay? So here we can do a knee close finish. This is one time where I'll do a knee close finish, okay? Like so, okay? I want to unlock the legs. So at all times, I want to be unlocking the legs. So if I'm on my right side, I tend to go for the 2 toe grips, levering with my elbow to open, separate, and then we want to cover so that they can't reconnect. I can use the same one if I'm on my left side as well. So we do cross your feet again. So it's like not a triangle, but here I can still go toes and open and try to catch. If he locks a full triangle, this toes one is going to be hard to get through that gap. So instead, hold the knee, pummel under, elbow near the ankle, and up towards the toes. Okay, and I can lever that open, cover the foot, and look to catch the heel to go from there. All right. Once we've opened the legs, if the heel's exposed, then we're going to take it straight away. All right. Immediately, if you get the chance, you're going to do the rotation, and if you can cause them to turn, we can start to get a good bridge going and get our hips in to finish. Otherwise, if you can, elbow hop away and cover with your chest so that they can't hand fight. And we do our same, we're basically in 80-20 now, our same reap across, and we can start to bridge in to finish. If Kaya locks his hands like that and he actually manages to get a hand fight, again, I want to, if I can, cover with my chest, free my hand, hop away, and do that same finishing sequence. If he's grabbing my head in my hands and I can't manage to move away, then sometimes I'll turn. I want to make sure this heel's not exposed. When I open my legs and point my knee up, I push him away a bit with my knee by scooting in. Now I can pummel, kick, and work to get my right leg across. Once we're here, we've got a chance to get to the outside Sankaku and get the finish. And then lastly, when we get the position, Kaya might have turned and hit the heel this way. Okay, that's when we're going to look for the outside Sankaku position. We're going to look for our elbow hops. We're going to look for our roll throughs, like so.